This is the After Party, live with Kim McAllister. Pick a couch, grab a drink, and settle into the conversation.
Hey everybody, it is the After Party live on a Tuesday, and not a travel Tuesday, sadly, because I am unable to make it a long enough show to put that in. I have a doctor's appointment today, but I wanted to make sure that we had a show to gather, to calm down, to hang out for a little while at least, and I have some stories that I've put together, so I want to thank you guys for coming. And yeah, me too. Eileen says I've got a lot of medical stuff going on. Got to miss some Mark Thompson show in the After Party. I get it. You know, for me today, it's an appointment about my knees. I had some knee issues in the past, and it feels a lot better, but I made this appointment, so I still feel like I have to go and get it all checked out. But I'm glad you're joining today too, Eileen, and hello to you, Sandy. Looking at the chat, looks like you guys are having a cool conversation. Yeah, thank you, Ricky. Thanks for coming, and thanks for decompressing as well. Let's start out with this story that I feel brings us a little bit of joy. At least it brings me a little bit of joy. And it's about this oak tree in Jurupa Valley. I had to call the Jurupa City Council before I came on to make sure that I said the name of the town right. This is Jurupa Valley, California. And there has been this big debate over the world's oldest oak and whether or not, it's right in the path of where developers want to build. And after all this back and forth, finally, the world's oldest oak is now going to be protected from this massive development in Jurupa, California. They've been debating this for years. Now they've decided, okay, we're going to protect this world's oldest oak tree. This is a Palmer's oak. It's in this, as you can see, rocky area of open land. This oak is thought to be at least 13,000 years old. It's culturally significant to the local band of Native Americans there. They are the Mission Indians Kiz Nation. I think I said that right. But this Palmer's oak has really kind of brought out a lot of people in the public comment area of the debate over this huge development over the last several years. The project they want to put up here in Jurupa Valley, in this area you're looking at, spreads across 918 acres. It'll be, instead of what you're seeing now, 1,700 residential units, a business park, a new school, other community additions like parkland and open space are included. The business park would only be able to come within 450 feet of this oak tree. Kind of like an oak complex, really. There are anti-development groups, preservation nonprofits that said this project would encroach on the tree's needed habitat, and also the underground water use could actually kill this tree entirely. This species of Palmer's oak is known for its low height, its prickly leaves, its ability to grow as an almost bush-like tree in arid regions. But it's important, and it's old. They at one point sued the city of Jurupa Valley to protect this Palmer's oak. They think it may be the oldest living known plant in the state of California. They wanted at least a 100-acre preserve to be maintained around the site of the tree. So they didn't get that. But they have come to an agreement now with almost 55 acres of open space to be protected around this ancient tree. The nearest border of the development will be moved from 450 feet out to 1,000 feet away from the Palmer's oak. And the Native American Kiz Nation will receive 500 acres of land in the same area. So some good news for the Palmer's oak in Jurupa Valley, California. This is a big fish. It's a 73-pound catfish. Oh, that's the wrong one. Here it is. Here's the fish. It's a big one. 73-pound blue catfish. It was caught in a river in Florida, and it has set the state record for the biggest catfish. It was reeled in the Suwannee River and sets this new state record after being certified by the Florida Wildlife Commission biologists. The old record was 69 and a half pounds, set in 2015. They had to review this catch for species, weight, and eligibility, and they say, yeah, that's a new state record. This adult blue catfish, known for a humped back in front of a dorsal fin, they resemble channel catfish because they have these forked tails. The back and the upper sides are blue and slate gray, and the belly is white. And they're known as one of the strongest freshwater fish. So that's what's going on there in the state of Florida. Here's what's going on with the eaglets. There they are. Look at those eaglets go. They now can see like their parents can. Sandy and Luna, the names of the eaglets that hatched this year. And they're now at the point in their development where their eyesight is coming into focus. Almost as good as an adult bird at this point. The Friends of Big Bear Valley still have the live cam up. They say the eagle chicks can now track things like squirrels and airplanes in the distance. The birds are now bobbing their heads as they watch things move, and the head bobbing helps them calculate the exact distance and speed of moving objects. This vision maturation, they say, usually happens right around day 35 of their existence. The physical changes to their eyes takes a little bit longer, like 5 years. They have black looking eyes, you can kind of see in the picture. Their parents' eyes appear as a lighter creamy yellow color. And the eyes lighten as they age, evolving from extremely dark brown to a lighter brown to then the creamy brown to yellow. So that's interesting that it takes 5 years to change. I guess you could say kind of like, they say most babies' eyes are born kind of blue or filmy blue, and your eyes, humans' eyes, can take 3 to 5 years to change color. Some people say their eyes changed color even later than that. Here's another look at the eyeball. So yeah, so they can see now, but it'll be a while until they're so cute. Looks like they're snuggling up. It'll be a while until their eyes change to the adult eagle eye, which is like the yellowish color. They've also, at this point, have some hardened leg bones. Their feet are still really large. Their leg bones haven't reached their full length, but they are able to walk around their nest with a little more confidence and balance now. These chicks usually stay in the nest up to 10 to 14 weeks of age. So Sandy and Luna have some time yet to spend in the nest, but that's the latest on the chicks. Check this out. This teenager takes robotics in a very interesting direction, building a bionic underwater robotic turtle in the hopes of detecting ecological threats. He's a high schooler. His name is Evan. He won an award for this cool robotic turtle that he says can identify coral bleaching, invasive species, and microplastics without disturbing marine ecosystems. He's 15. He said he was on a camping trip when he saw a snapping turtle, and that gave him the idea for this invention. He's a guy who loves to hike, canoe, and be outside. He's a Canadian high school student. He's from Burlington, Ontario. He said he'd been looking for ways that he could go out and help the planet. Here's his quote. "My parents brought me up with the sort of principle that every place I visit, I should leave a little bit better than I found it." Thank you, parents, for teaching that. So he says when he noticed this turtle swimming in some nearby waters, he knew he found his next project, a bionic robot turtle that could help protect underwater environments. He said, when I saw the snapping turtle, it was so graceful and fluid and generally non disruptive to its surroundings. I thought it'd be really interesting to go and try and replicate its natural swimming kinematics in a robot. So he mimics the fluid motions of a wild green sea turtle in the water. He used AI to monitor underwater ecosystems for ecological threats. Most current underwater technologies, he said, can produce things like noise from their propellers or very high pressure water streams. And that, he said, can erode environments. But by mimicking the motions of a sea turtle, his robot can move through the water very quietly, not making a lot of trouble for any of the other species there, gathering vital data in a way that doesn't stress marine life or damage delicate habitats. He said, I don't want to harm the places that I'm hoping to protect. So he studied the locomotion of turtles to make this happen. He watched videos of sea turtles swimming, talked with experts at the local aquarium, learned how reptiles use their front flippers to propel themselves forward and their hind legs for steering. And then he said he used his 3D design and electronics know how to plan this prototype in something called SolidWorks, which is a 3D computer aided design and engineering software. And then he created all the turtle parts. It has 4 flippers. The larger flippers in front propel it. The smaller rear flippers are used for stability and changing direction, just like a real turtle. It's got an acrylic tube and the main body used for housing the electronic components, which include a Raspberry Pi microcomputer, and it runs AI models to detect environmental threats. Then it records and transmits data, navigates the water using various sensors, including a GPS module for position tracking, allowing this turtle robot to follow a predefined grid pattern. He calls it BERT. BERT can swim for up to 8 hours per charge on a lithium battery, but it has a solar panel to keep it going for even longer periods. BERT is set up to swim at typical speeds of turtles, about half a mile per hour. He said, if I want it to swim faster, I can just change the flipper oscillation frequency, the rate of its flipper strokes, to make it go faster. He said most of the testing took place in his grandpa's backyard pool with a depth of just over 8 feet. He created a simulated coral reef with 3D models, and he said he programmed the turtle to understand what coral bleaching and invasive species look like, and then the turtle swims around to simulate what it would do in a real world environment. He has tested it in a real world environment as well. Uh, he wants to see, though, how it'll do in really murky waters. He's got lights on the front of this robot and an ultrasonic transducer to utilize high frequency sound waves to detect potential obstacles. This kid has thought of everything, I'm telling you. He said his goal is to have a fleet of sea turtles that can be set out to detect ecological threats. That's one smart kid. I'm telling you. There are some of these kids that are going to save the world. You know who's not saving the world? Elon Musk and all of his buddies that keep sending up more space junk. It turns out almost half of everything orbiting Earth is space junk. There are abandoned rocket parts and dead satellites, and they're all circling the planet. Nearly half of all known objects currently orbiting Earth classify as space junk. The real number might even be higher than that. And they keep putting more stuff up there. And so the debris is multiplying faster than it's being removed. There's a red alert report based on information compiled from the US Space Surveillance Network and its space track database. According to the assessment, there are at least 12,550 tracked orbital debris fragments circling the planet with no control and with no purpose. That's about 47% of the known 33,269 objects. And most of those are satellites, 17,690 satellites. Many of those satellites are now inactive. 2,400 are jettisoned rocket bodies. They think the total number of space junk is really even worse. The issues range from the size of screws and paint chips to dead satellites. The space junk orbits our planet at about 17,400 miles per hour, which means even a tiny collision with a spacecraft from the United States as we send up to the moon in the coming year could be catastrophic and derail the entire mission. In 2016, according to Popular Science, debris no bigger than a few thousandths of a millimeter hit one of the International Space Station's quadruple glazed cupola windows and left behind a quarter-inch wide crater. So it's kind of serious to have all that stuff floating around up there. They calculated that there are 7 debris objects for every 10 satellites orbiting Earth. Who's to blame? 3 contributors. China generated 34% of the junk. The United States and the Russian-aligned Commonwealth of Independent States have both provided about 31% of the debris. So we are to blame. Most of these objects rolling around Earth follow a decaying orbit due to the planet's gravity, and they will burn up during atmospheric reentry, but that will take years. And it doesn't always erase the problem like you think it would, because there is material like aluminum and copper and lithium which could vaporize before hitting the ground. The particulates would remain in the upper atmosphere. So they need to do some research to figure out what the real full impact of all of this is going to be, but the evidence already suggests it could have some harmful effects on the ozone layer. And nothing really is being done to address this problem either. The European Space Agency is leading the charge in some capacities. They have a program called Clear Space One, which is the first active debris collecting mission. There are some private companies trying to start some things as well. They're trying to think, should we use robotic arms or harpoons to catch this debris? But this debris isn't going anywhere anytime soon. Interesting to think of all that junk just floating around up there. All right, we ready for the lotto of the day? Let's get to it. This one is out of South Dakota. Just days before this ticket expired, a trust setup claimed a $78 million lottery jackpot. That's the way you want to do it. It's a trust company located in South Dakota. The lottery, though, jackpot was from Texas. And just days before it was set to expire, Joie Re Trust Agreement Trident Trust Company in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, claimed this jackpot 6 days before it was going to expire. The original drawing took place in November. The trust company selected the cash value option, and instead of 78 million, walked away with $43,757,000, $223.10 before taxes. They had all 6 of the numbers that were drawn. The ticket purchased at Gordon's Bait and Tackle in Brownsville, Texas. According to the lottery rules, the winning ticket holder forfeits any prize after the 180th day following the draw date. Their deadline was May 14th, and if that ticket had not been claimed, the Texas legislature would have redistributed the prize money. So they got it just in time. set up a trust. Everybody's anonymous in this case. And they have millions and millions. Sounds like somebody knew what they were doing. This is why you have to have a plan to win before you go into the lottery and buy your ticket, right? All right. Well, that is the show for today. I've got to go to the doctor's. I'll do a quick pop into the chat. Didn't want to be making coffee under a tornado warning. Oh my, is there a tornado warning in Texas? Yikes. Glenn says it's well placed to remind us there are nice things on Earth. Yeah, nice to know that it's a bummer that they had to fight to save that old oak tree, but it's nice that people cared enough to spend so many years making sure that it would be safe. I do want to thank everyone who contributes to this show, and that could be in the super chat, which is open round the clock, or it could be in the PayPal contributions, which the PayPal information is in every show description and it's in the About tab. The most recent contributors include Wes, who throws in another $5 today. Huge thank you, Wes. Janet R., huge thank you, comes in with a PayPal contribution, sets it up so every month a contribution comes in. Murphy, thank you, got your PayPal contribution as well. John R., another one from Wes from yesterday. You guys, thank you for keeping this show going. Thank you for the ideas, the stories, the emails, and for spending your time here as well. All right, everybody, I'm off to the doctor. I will see you tomorrow. Mo in for Mark Thompson. John Rothman will be on the show. And we're going to have a guest who is really interesting because this guest owns a company, and what they do is they fund protesters. And so we'll talk about the business of funding protesters, how it actually works, and who they're targeting. It's a really interesting interview. So all that comes up tomorrow. But until we meet again, make it the very best rest of your Tuesday. Bye, everybody.
The After Party Live would like to thank the following contributors and viewers like you.
Elise, I see you with your 5. Thank you. She says more when I win the lottery. Thanks for the show and for the positive vibes. Thank you, Elise. By the way, Elise makes some of the best baked goods I've ever had. Your Carmelitas are out of this world. Love them. So good. Find her at this email address, sweetpetitebnc@gmail.com. Thanks for the contribution, Elise, and for the amazing cookies. Thank you, Glenn, for the Australian dollars. He said, almost forgot. Thank you for not forgetting. You're awesome, Glenn. I tried to say good day to you with the accent, but I would just mess it up. So, good day. I don't know. First time I've meeting this one. We'll see, Lori. Thank you.